This learning is Le'ili Nishmas, Broya Bas Hananya, Meseches Kilayim, Perek Mishna Hanetea Yorek Bakerem, Oy Mekayim, if someone plants vegetables in a vineyard, or if a person sees vegetables growing there, and they leave them there, they don't uproot them. So the halacha is, Hareza Mekadesh Arba'im Vachamisha Gefonim. It makes 45 vines to be Kelayim, and also the vegetables become Kelayim as well. And the Mishnah explains, a Masai, when do we say that it makes 45 vines to be Kilayim? Bizman shahayu netuis al arba oy al chamish. If the vines were planted either 4 amos away from one another or 5 amos away from one another. Because if you calculate it, if you imagine over here we have a vineyard, and right next to one of the vines in the middle, a person plants vegetables, and then you make a circle of 16 amos around, meaning it's 16 amos distance from the Kilayim, then it'll encompass in it, if the vines are 4 amos away from one another, it'll encompass in it 45 vines. And the Mishnah teaches that this is also the halacha if the vines are 5 amos away from one another, because the difference between 4 and 5 amos is small enough that a person won't be able to tell that this vineyard is different than the one that's 4 amos away from one another, and so they make a mistake and think you don't have to take out 45 vines. The Mishnah continues, al sheish, al sheva sheva. If the vines are planted at a distance of 6 amos from one another, or 7 amos from one another, so then the halacha is, sheish esrei ama l'chol ruach. Then you just measure the 16 amos circle from the Kilayim that's planted over there, middle of the vineyard, and whatever falls into that circle is Kilayim. And the Mishnah concludes, Agulis v'loy miruba'is. These 16 amos are circle and not square, meaning if we imagine over here is the Kilayim and 16 amos away is here, so it makes Kilayim this circle over here. And we don't say that it has to be even more, and it goes by a square that encompasses that circle. So we're being lenient and saying it's 16 amos in a circle and not in a square.